All right, Akira. Enough said. I'm going to be reviewing um, the Mark Teixeira issue 37 of Akira. Akira only ran until issue 38 for the colorized editions from Epic. I believe this was 1994 or 1995 when these books came out. I did collect Akira kind of late in the game. I think when it was around a year into it, maybe 2 years into Akira. I had a buddy that got me into the book, and I just thought it was super cool. As a young lad, a mad lad, trying to learn how to draw, seeing really really cool intricate backgrounds, seeing an artist that actually made them look cool and not like shoe boxes. That was fun. This issue 37 right here, pretty difficult to find. I think I paid 10 or 12 way back in the day as a new release. They were pulled immediately, thrown on the wall at an increased price at the shop that I was buying my Akira books from, and it was, I would say it was it was like a top shelf book, basically stuff out of the reach of children. Might have some adult themed stuff. You know, it'd be the same shelf that you'd find things like I don't know, ElfQuest and Faust, things like that. All right, so here's the cover here of issue 37. By the way, if you can find this book for under 60 bucks, grab it. They generally retail between 150 and 300 a pop just for this single issue right here. Uh, you know, which can buy you 3 copies of issue number 1. So let's see here. So we got that one there. There is a tribute page here. Now it does mention works by Mark Teixeira, Joe Duffy, Kent Williams. Uh, yeah. So the weird thing here is this is the Kent Williams right here. There is no Kent Williams pinup in the book. There is a Jeff Darrow who's not mentioned down here. I don't really know. I guess by this point they just didn't really care. Sales were probably, I don't know. Couldn't have been that great. 94, 95, you know, everything was selling. I only remember 2 or 3 copies of the last dozen issues showing up at the shop I was getting them from. So editors probably just didn't, you know, didn't care. All right. So here we go right here. Joe Duffy scripting, Teixeira on the artwork. Painted style by Mark. Super, super cool. And again, I didn't realize that he was even in this book until I cracked it. That those top shelf books, you weren't allowed to crack them open. They were bagged and boarded, ready to sell. He didn't want them being looked at in the shop. There was some weird legality stuff with some other books that were under the gun, including Spawn. There were weird court cases, overprotective parents, things getting into kids' hands that they shouldn't have. So, anyways, yeah, again, top shelf book. So couldn't crack it, couldn't see what the contents were. I would have grabbed several copies of this if I had seen Teixeira, because I do have friends who were into you know, the Ghost Rider run and all that, and that stuff was already past by the time this had come out. So he was already a pretty big name. I think let's see. So when this came out, I'm not sure when he worked on this, but definitely up to Union. You know, everything past the Sabretooth and his Wolverine fill-in issues were already out. So got this page here, very very cool. Love his painted work. Um, yeah, and of course, master storyteller. I do wish that Teixeira did more work like this. Put some ownage on the painted game. I'm not really sure how he worked. I've only seen 1 or 2 of his painted originals in person, and it kind of looks like, I'm not really sure. Maybe pencil and then some ink, and then he kind of attacks it with maybe gouache and color pencil. I'm not really sure about his supplies. Never been able to put a finger on it. I do know that there is some airbrushing involved, some masking, um, some kind of splatter stuff once in a while I'll catch, but he doesn't really overuse it. So yeah, this is an awesome page. That face, so good. Perfect mixture of like realism and then Mark's style, and of course, and he does a really good job of, these characters are in Japan. They look Japanese. It's great. And yeah, right about here, he gets a little thick with some of his outlines. This is my favorite panel actually of this whole story that he illustrated. This one right here. Got the big coach. Dude's a jerk. Yeah, so yeah, you get to see a little bit of the comic stuff kind of shine through on some of it, like panels like right here. I could totally see this coming out of a Ghost Rider book. The hard edged outlines right here in the chin. Looks like he's given a little bit of a shout out to, maybe it's a shop or something he had in mind for putting out. Not entirely sure. But yeah, this stuff's great. That shot right, this is a badass shot. Really, really good illustrating the hands, the photorealism. This is art. This is art. This isn't cartooning right here. Yeah, this shit's great. So yeah, the coach is kind of pursuing, you know, the the bunch right there, and it's sort of cartoony in nature. This door opens up, hits him, stops him. He's down here. Lunging at him. They're going through the door. He slips. Very, very cartoony, very Looney Tunes in nature, but drawn very seriously. This right here is really. If you just cropped this panel right here, you could totally. You could call it as being a Tex art. And then his ass falls down the stairs after he slips on that pin. This is great too. Little bit of a smoky effect of the dust settling after he face plants. I really wish right here he'd establish whether or not he's scorpioned. That'd be kind of cool. Um, cool shot. See the very crappy classroom. Oh man, there's so many callbacks in here, like just nuance in his artwork of more so the film than the comic, I think. So I'm gonna assume that Mark is a fan of the film. Yeah, he looks creepy as hell right there. Tetsuo. All right, so we got this right here. We got the shooting. It's a very cool face. A lot of artists these days not practicing emotion. All right, so those were the text pages. Really wanted to show those off primarily. We're going to blow through this. Coming next month, AKIRA tribute issue. Strange. I don't know. All right, so again, the page that tells you, what's coming in these following pages. No mention of Dave Gibbons, but here's Dave Gibbons. This is that pinup. This is in issue 37. All right, 37. Let's see. So this is 38. The final issue of AKIRA. We're gonna jettison past Katsuhiro's work and to the tribute page. What's after this, if I recall? So there's a story. Who wrote it? Larry Hama? I think Hama wrote it. I'm not going to be showing that. It's again, I really just want to show the pinups that are in here. They're kind of side questy. There's a Hama story, and then there's another story also in this. Maybe it'll get. I don't know. My mind's not working right now. Okay, so you got Blood. Yeah, it is Hama. Blevins on art. This is the first page of it. Did absolutely nothing for me. Would have been cool to see on its own as its own IP, but inside me or my AKIRA comic, get out. We got some Mobius rendition. I do know that there is also, let's see, here's the Joe Mad piece. This piece has been shared a bit, and I know that the high-res line art of this has leaked as well because, man, early 2000s, a lot of colorists were using this piece as a sample. So there's the Joe Mad. Who's this? Chiarello? I'm not really sure. I feel like it's one of the Vertigo artists. Mike Allred, one of my favorite artists. In no way am I influenced by his work. I just really like his work. It's something very pulpy about it. From way back in Tundra, I was just always. It just has something very attractive about his work. Those rocks do not look dangerous at all. But I am a huge. If I could buy Madman, I would try to buy Madman from him. John Romita Sr. That's a pretty decent piece. Don't feel like it was dialed in. Maybe he was not aware of how epic AKIRA actually is. Got the Alex Toth. When in doubt, blacking out. So we got O'Neill. What else is here? There's one more, I thought. Yeah. And is this the Chiarello? I'm not really sure. Or no, this is Van Fleet. I think that I have some Poison Ivy or Batman square-bound books by him. Anyways, that's it. So all of those right there are from the AKIRA 38. Okay. And it does have 2 stories in it, right? It's got one that's, I don't remember who the artist is. It's very reminiscent of like 90s Malibu, which would be the same era that I had worked at Malibu. A lot of cross-hatching, a lot of bad anatomy. This book could have done without. But you get some pretty cool pinups. It looks like they're accredited to the right artist. And then the super expensive AKIRA 37, this one has that very, very cool, I don't know, 12 or 13 page Mark Texiera story. If you can find this in a quarter bin, congratulations. You can find it for under 60. I would say pick it up if you are a fan of Texiera. So, anyways, guys, thanks for checking this out. See you on the flip side.